Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to Shortcuts for Your Soul. Today, I was inspired to share this message with you from my guardian angels and a few of the ascended masters. They wanted us to be really clear on something. You are always creating something. Always. They were so clear about this. We are, every single one of us that is on this physical dimension, any one of us that is conscious or unconscious of what we're thinking, saying, or doing, every single one of us is creating something all of the time. Part of being in the creation is that you create. Even if your behaviors or actions are passive, it has a creative effect in the world around you. If your thoughts and ideas are conscious and deliberate and your actions are specifically chosen, they're a creative influence. But not one of you can escape the reality that you are always creating something. Always. And when I had that realization really dawn on me, there's no such thing as not participating, even if you are a slave, or even if you are subservient, even if you are a great leader, or a business manager, or a husband, or a wife, or a child. Every single one of us is in a creating process all of the time. There's not one moment of our experience of being, whether we're conscious of that experience of being or unconscious of it, that you are not creating something in time space and rippling that effect into other dimensions. So I asked them why this particular subject today, and they said it's important that you know that you are creating consciously, to know that you can create consciously, that it is no longer feasible or sustainable to create unconsciously. And so I asked them, what is unconscious creating? And I asked them, what is unconscious creating? They tell me this. Unconscious creating is where you have certain emotions and ideas that you're aware of, but you don't really do anything about. You don't take responsibility for certain emotions or certain thoughts or certain actions. Or you believe that the thoughts, feelings, and actions that you're experiencing are caused by somebody else. They said it doesn't matter whether you're conscious or unconscious, you're creating something every single instant of your life. The question that I asked them after that is, well, what's the best thing to do? They said the best thing to do is to become a conscious creator. A conscious creator. What does being a conscious creator mean? And in a nutshell, a conscious creator is one who is deliberately and intentionally choosing their thoughts, their words, and their actions. Consciously choosing their thoughts, their words, and their actions. And surrendering those things that make you unconscious. Like alcohol makes a person unconscious, right? Any artificial stimulants makes you unconscious. If you're trying to get a high or a buzz off something outside of you, it takes you away from the creative process. It puts the power of your creation in something outside. Or if you're trying to get somebody else to do things for you or take care of you, again, you're in denial of your own creative process. To become a conscious creator means you are deliberately and intentionally organizing your thoughts, your words, and your actions. Deliberately, consciously. You're not reacting. You're deliberately, moment to moment, creating consciously what your experience is going to be. And I was kind of surprised because we're seeing this whole global change on the planet right now, and every one of us, even those of you that are locked down in your homes and think, oh, I can't do anything, whatever you're thinking, whatever you're emoting on, is a creative influence in this dynamic manifestation of energy and consciousness called Earth. They had me move my awareness. They said, William, you got to get a perspective, a different perspective. I said, well, how do I do that? I said, expand your awareness. So I did. They had me expand my awareness as far out as I could, into time and space. So I got to this place in awareness where I couldn't even perceive the physical planet Earth. It was just this expansion of endless space. I was aware that things like the Earth and the planets and galaxies were contained within the space. But from that perspective, all of it was silent. I wasn't even aware of the stuff that we're aware of while I'm in my physical body. Perspective, they said. You want to shift your perspective so that you can create consciously, intelligently, other than what you're doing now. They really are directing us to consider whether you're living at home in a lockdown situation or wherever you are, to become conscious and deliberate about the thoughts you're thinking, the emotions you're engaging in, and the actions you're doing, and learn to become conscious. You can sit in that space that you're in right now, feeling isolated and lonely and afraid, and you'll feel a certain way, and you'll create a certain effect. You'll send out an energy into time space. The other option is you can actually expand your awareness and radiate love, not only into your mind and body. Remember, your mind and body are not who you are. Your mind and your body are not who you are. They are instruments that you as an awareness use as a creating medium, where you are creating through the medium of mind and matter into this physical dimension. Knowing that, when you come to a place of knowing that, then anything inside your perceptual awareness does not feel right to you is something you might want to correct. If a certain thought makes you feel uncomfortable, don't think that thought anymore. Become conscious. Say, I'm not going to think that thought about nothing's working right, the world's a terrible place. Get rid of all that. Those thoughts create very precise emotional energy that create an influence. And right now, this ascension process that we're all engaged in, whether you're consciously in it or not, we are all engaged in it. Therefore, become conscious and recognize that in this ascension process, with all these higher vibrational frequencies and lower vibrational frequencies available to us, we get to decide what our creative expression will be individually and collectively. So as we are communicating to you right now, we are very aware that there are certain words we're speaking through the body, but we're also aware that there are certain frequencies of energy that communicated simultaneously embedded in the words, much the same way as you would see information embedded in the space-time around you in the form of different signals of multimedia systems that are passing through the air. You can't see them, but they're there and they have an influence upon you. Well, so too, what you think, what you feel, what you speak, what you do changes the conditions of time and space. So how do you make that shift consciously? By becoming aware of your thoughts, aware of your emotions, aware of your body, and realizing that these are instruments that you are using, that they are not to be something you are subjective to, but something that you are creative with. Now, we've been talking a lot the last few weeks about this process, very simple process for transformation, for how do you get out of suffering, consciously get out of suffering, not hope that your doctor's going to give you the right pill, or that 26er of rye is going to do the trick, or that food's going to do the trick. What can you do to really simply make a transformation so that your behaviors and your thoughts are no longer governed by what you remember or what you've been trained to think or feel or believe is true? What are the simple steps? The first step is awareness. Awareness of thought. Does this thought generate a good feeling? Awareness of emotion without judgment, to allow your emotion to be free, to transform it by the nature of your interaction with it, to consciously be aware if you got fear or anger or anxiety or shame or guilt or whatever range of negative energy emotions you have, just allow them to be present. Do not judge them. Do not attack them. Allow them. Be aware of them, but do not get lost in them. The nature of your process of allowing releases and liberates that energy from your biology and from your psychology. The release of those emotions without engaging into them judgmentally, of saying they're good or bad, but allowing them to be present non-judgmentally, moves you into the position of allowing those energies to flow freely through you. Then, when you have the judgment released off your emotional field, then you can begin to deliberately select and choose thoughts that will reorganize those emotions into a far more pleasing and effective tool. But many of you have this past self that you think you are, this personality of Jimmy or Bobby or Mary Lou or Jennifer, and you think that that personality is you. That personality is literally just a construct that you operate through. You are aware of your thoughts, but you can't see them, but you're aware of them. How can that be? They're invisible. So there's an aspect of you that is invisible called thought. And who are you as the awareness of thought? When you are aware of your thoughts, who is that? That invisible you that is aware of thought. And in turn, you are aware of the body, that it will function in a specific way for you. Who are you? And can this part of you that's aware of thought and aware of body, can you reorganize both the personality and the body? And the answer is yes, you can. But the first thing is you must become free. To become free is to become aware. Aware, oh, wait, these thoughts, most of your thoughts, aren't even yours. Most of your thoughts aren't even yours. Most of your thoughts are somebody else's, something they have told you to think or believe or understand. And until that place in awareness is reached where you can observe, evaluate, examine, transform, transmute thoughts and energy in the system, you will remain subjective to the construct of your personality, which is not who you are. Your personality is a construction, and it can be a very pleasing construction, and it can be a very displeasing construction. The choice, once you are aware, is yours. Like Michelangelo or Leonardo da Vinci, you have the opportunity to resculpt your personality into a collaboration of thought and emotion that is extremely pleasing, uplifting, and empowering. But understand, once you choose this path of being conscious, that you will become very aware of all the suffering that is contained in your system. You'll become very aware of what you weren't aware of before because you were too busy medicating yourself or trying to escape it. But now you have the opportunity to become very aware of what is inside the system that you need to correct in order that you can consciously begin to interact with this third dimensional realm from a conscious creative process. It gets easier when you realize, that the thoughts, the emotions are not you. It gets easier once you realize they are not you. It gets even easier when you realize you can change them. You can edit them. You can subtract them. You can delete them, just like you do on your computer systems. You can copy and paste and delete information in your system and files. You can remove files and put new files in your system. And your personality is a filing system that you can now become conscious of. You need to reset the system. You need to begin to reorganize the system, just as the great reset is happening in consciousness collectively on a global scale, so too it must happen within yourself consciously on the scale of the individual that you find yourself as thinking that you are. It is going to get very easy in the coming weeks as you recognize that you have the power to choose your thought, that you have the power to alter emotion by the mere presence of your being non-judgmentally. And this will continue to be a very strong theme from us, that this conception of creation from the perspective of consciousness and the liberation of yourself from the old self through non-judgment will be a very strong theme in the coming weeks as you become more free. Additionally, we will continue to transmit to you on many levels these vibrations of love, these vibrations of freedom, these vibrations of joy, the vibrations of possibilities, the vibration of excitement, the vibration of creation, the vibration of compassion and patience and love. And as you get more articulated consciously in the manifestation of these through your mechanism, you will see the acceleration of change as you are seeing it now happening even faster. And when you realize that that body in which you exist through and that thought realm that you exist through, when you recognize that they are simply not who you are, then most of your fear will vanish, for you'll realize that you are the creator of your creation and not the subject of it. Very interesting. So they've been in this process with me about really learning to let it go, to let go of all the stuff, to let go of all the stuff that does not represent who you are. And for me, who I am, who I think I am, is not who I am. I am the thinker, not the thoughts. I am the feeler, not the feelings. And how I interact with thought and feeling organizes the conditions of physical expression. So I'm really excited that you guys are here with me today on this journey, because we're going to be waking so many people up on the planet in these coming weeks. Like, it's going to be massive. What you're seeing on the planet is huge and exciting and wondrous and delightful. And there are practical things that we can all do to move our vibration up. And this is the key: raising your vibration up higher and higher at every opportunity. And we're being given lots of opportunities to raise our vibration up, to stand by what we know to be true for our own individual expression, to be the unique you came here to express. I mean, that body mind that you're in right now is an instrument unlike any other instrument on this planet. Certain common denominators, because it's a physical body, we all had one. But what you can put through that body is different than what anybody else can put through their body. So you want to become more and more aware of who and what you are as an energy, as an awareness that can dynamically shift and change thought and feeling and organize matter by that process. Emotion, my guardian angel John said about a year and a bit ago, emotion is the fifth state of energy, and it organizes all matter. Emotion organizes all matter. And funny, when he said that, I was blown away. We ended up creating a group called 1 Billion Strong from that on Facebook. And the goal of that group was to recognize that when we are in a certain emotional state, we are literally organizing matter. So when you're in a state of joy, you're organizing joy. When you're in a state of depression, you're organizing depression. When you're in a state of bliss, you're organizing bliss. Literally, matter is being organized to conform to that. And as 7 billion humans collectively teeter between fear and love, we are seeing things being organized in time-space that reflect what we're now being required to become conscious of. We can either become conscious of creating more love, or we can become conscious of creating more fear. It has to be done consciously and deliberately. In the end of your form, you will still exist. You just won't be subjective to this realm anymore. But this realm will remain subjective to you if you know that you still exist. But yeah, we got great things, messages, information is going to be pouring through for so many people. Hi, good morning, everybody. Hi, South Africa. Hello, Kimberly. So yeah, questions on the idea. Yes, I get that. uh, Wonderful. I'm just scrolling down to see questions. Question from M-Tops Academy. If most of our thoughts aren't our own, does this mean we are being the frequency of the human collective? By liberating ourselves from ourselves, are we liberating them as well? Yes and yes. Once you are conscious and aware that you as an awareness can alter and change your frequency, you can literally align yourself to a vibration of love. You now become a creative influence over the matter of your own body. And as your body gets aligned to vibrations of love through your awareness, as you bring more love into your body, and bringing love into your body is not just about bringing the energy, the vibration of love, which is an organizing element too, but it's also what are you putting into your body? Are you putting love in the form of good, clean water, good, clean food? Are you putting more vibrational love, physical love into the body? The body needs things that are physical. So put more things that represent a vibration of love for the body. Fresh fruit, fresh vegetables, living things in your body that are vibrant and healthy, clean water, proper nutrition. It's important to put things in the body to raise it up. As you bring more love in, you'll be, one of the things I found when they had me change my diet, and they said get rid of caffeine, they said get rid of alcohol, they said start having me do all these different things, eating different ways, doing smoothies. When that began to happen, I realized that the two have to work together. The bringing in of the vibration of love and what's happening in the body became in tandem. So now whatever I do with the body affects my energy field as an awareness and vice versa. So now we function as a unified field, intentionally working from a perspective of love, right? So I put more living, loving things into the body and put more, and the body becomes more vital. So yeah, you can absolutely do that. You can bring the vibration of your body up first, and once you start bringing yours up, it starts to generate an electrical field in time space around you that begins to induce other people into the energy you're putting out. You're sitting in a restaurant or you're walking down the street and you hear a song playing that you go, oh, I love that song. And suddenly you find your body wanting to move to the song, right? It's like that. When you start generating a strong enough, powerful enough vibration of love or fear, because it works both ways, there's no limits in creation, right? You can create through fear, you can create through love. They'll produce very different results in time and space, but they both are creative energies. When you're choosing love, you're radiating that out. The more you choose to generate that in the body and make the body in alignment with that energetically, you will see it showing up around you. Things, events, people, circumstances will start to show up around you that reflects exactly what's going on within you. And that relationship is ongoing all the time for every one of us. What you are dominantly experiencing at any given moment is a direct alignment with what your thoughts are, what your emotions are, and what your body is. There's a perfect alignment with all of your experiences. Well, no matter what they are, good, bad, or indifferent, our experiences are effects of our own causes. Thank you. There was a big loud bang outside when I said that. Question from Jane. How to stay aware of one's thoughts and reactions in the present moment for longer periods without dropping off? That's a great question, Jana. And it's practice. It's like it's a skill. You literally, meditation is the most powerful way. Walking down the street and just watching your thoughts. There's so many triggers in the world around us that can trigger subconscious thoughts, subconscious emotions are hidden. Oh, that person's yelling at that person made me feel angry, and it triggered the memory of my father yelling at my mother, and I'm gonna let that go. And you become more conscious, and the more conscious you become, the more awake you'll stay. In other words, in meditation, I love my meditations because it gives me the chance to really examine on a very deep level what's going on in the subconscious field so I can correct it. So I always look for things that I can't find. I'm all the way back. I'm back now to around just before 18 months of age. And I remember crawling around. I can actually see my body crawling around, picking bugs up off the ground and examining them. So as you clear up more and more of the emotional blockages, as you start to release stuff, more information, more time, more space become available to you, it gets easier so that you'll stay awake. You'll be walking down the street and you'll just go, oh, that thought. And you'll start noticing when thoughts are coming. Or suddenly an emotion changes and you go, oh, I wonder what caused that emotion to change. It's either something outside of you or something inside of you that triggered a change in your emotional field. You cannot have an effect without a cause, nor a cause without an effect. But through patience, perseverance, and awareness, choosing to be aware. I'm going to be aware of my thoughts for 15 minutes a day. Get up before you even get out of bed. Watch your thoughts. The first 15 minutes of your day, watch your thoughts, because those first few thoughts are setting the stage for most people to repeat the same stuff different day. And once you start becoming aware of the thoughts, then you start changing them. And the more you start changing them, the more you start to see changes happening around you. It's really cool. We watch miracles all the time. Here we go here. Oh, thank you, Inshiro. I really appreciate that 1111. Wonderful. Yes. Well, that would be interesting if that happens. Okay. Betsy, what changes can we expect to feel on December 21st as the high vibe entities descend? Thank you for that question. Whoa, they're just pouring in right now literally they're pouring in. They're saying to be very aware of the light between now and then. Be mindful, be very selective upon what you will think and upon how you will deal with your emotions between now and then on the day of, for you are working towards an event. This is a creative event. This has been co-created. And so it's not just something that you will feel on that day. It is something that all of you are feeling every moment, and you are building up to this. The ability you have to allow yourself to be free of what you think you are, the limits of your past, liberates you to contribute greater. What do you mean by that? More of this vibration that you call love, to see how it fully and freely manifests the conditions in your world, as opposed to the vibrations of fear. The tipping point, and this is the tipping point. They're saying that this is the tipping point. They're also saying that when you get to that place in consciousness where you are able to deliberately and intentionally be aware without judgment, the process of integration will be more spontaneous. To be aware of the vibrations consciously will allow the process of integration to occur naturally and spontaneously on all levels. Cool. I know, I gotta do that too. Wei Chen, any advice for me? Thank you. Wow. I don't know why they're saying, they're showing me this image of a musical instrument that you need to play, that you need to channel your energy to music as an expression of music, something that you have had as a something very temporary, but the same. You need to channel your energy towards music. And not just for the sake of what you think you can get, but for the joy of what you are being. This is important that you make that distinction. For many of you are in these transitions of careers right now, and it is important not to be concerned about the outside world, but what is it that you have come to give to it? What is your joy as your expression, rather than what you think you are supposed to do to make a living? For when you transition into the expression of your joy, then the inevitability of what you will make as a living will be a product of that. But many of you are still running around hither and thither, attempting to get your fulfillment from the world around you, rather than realizing you came here to give the world something that would fulfill it. You came here to offer your gift, your extension of life to this world. Go into this, and you will see you must express from the love of the doing, not from what you will get by the expression. And many of you do the things you do and say the things you say because of what you think you may acquire rather than what you are here to offer. And that distinction has limited many of you. But when you recognize it is your service is about what you are here to offer, then the joy will grow exceedingly in your heart. And you will begin to see the change that you've been desiring and knowing in your soul is meant to be. That's kind of like, that's cool. That's kind of like, we all know life is meant to be better than what we're experiencing right now. We all know this on some innate level. Life. Why is my life like this? Because we know we came here to be something, not to get something. We came here to be something and to let the expression of our being contribute to the world state of being. That's cool. So yeah, it'd be really interesting to hear about that way, what the music is for you. Question for Susan: will everyone feel the change December 21st? It's happening right now. This is one of the things they want to clarify. It's not just December 21st. We're building up to something. The change is happening right now. Feel it. We got the first wave here about a week and a half ago. I was literally sitting and doing some studies, and all of a sudden I felt the global upliftment that hit what some call the rhapsody, which is the upliftment of the soul from its subjectivity to time-space to a higher level of creative potential, which is an energy that we're bringing in. So it's something that's happening right now. It's not something that's just to that one day. It's ongoing. And if you can get hooked into it consciously, that you can hook into it through fear, will give you one experience of this change, and you can hook into this from a vibration of love, and that will give you a different experience, because all energies exist simultaneously. Good and evil are in the same place. What is good can be evil. What is evil can be good, right? And a hammer can build, a hammer can kill. Really understanding that it's your choice to be aware in the moment that you are in this ongoing transmutation, and you must become aware of this. It's not something that's going to happen outside of you, although you will see things occur outside of you, and you are seeing it now, but it is something that you are occurring within yourself. Remember this, it is ongoing. You are on-growing. You are opening up to all of your potential. So do not place it on one day. It is something you are working towards. We recognize it energetically on a physical perspective that this day of the 21st has a specific alignment of matter, time, and space that gives you the opportunity to utilize creative energies very different than your species has up to this point. So please understand, it is ongoing. And for those of you that are more aware of that process, you will contribute more intelligently and deliberately to what is occurring for humanity as a whole right now. One of the reasons we're excited to be here is because we know what's happening. Wonderful question from Blaine. When my son is nestled against my chest, my heart feels as if it becomes its own shining sun. What is happening there? You are aligning as a soul to the unity of the two as one. If you go from the perspective of the awareness of the sensation rather than your interpretation of the sensation, become that. For your mind is still trying to figure out the very thing that you are seeking to be, and that you are in reality with all else. When your son is upon your chest and you feel that radiant light, become that light, and you will see that the two are one, that your heart and his heart are one. And this is true for all. You live in this illusion of separation from each other, and it makes it difficult to remember that truth. For if you did know that truth as all have that truth within them, there would be a very different world today. And you can see this transition happening back to that. We are coming back to that truth. We're very grateful that you have brought this to the attention of others as well. For the light, the spark in your physical heart, that you communicate to it through the physical brain from your undifferentiated point in consciousness, that spark of light that you put into the form that animates its life for the duration and time you'll need that body for, you may expand that light to others. But many of you keep it small in your own heart, but expand it outward. Embrace all with that light. It must be done deliberately and consciously. It will not happen automatically. Creation is not automatic. It is conscious. Although things will appear to be happening automatically. They are not. Question from Tamara. Practical advice for navigating this busy time of year so that we have time to soak up new incoming energies. Be conscious of them. They're saying, Tamara, they're saying be conscious of the energies. As you become aware of them, you're literally, it's like I become aware. I've got this glass of remineralized water here. I'm aware of it. I'm going to drink some. Once I'm aware of it, I'm experiencing it. I'm one with it. As you align yourself to the higher frequencies energy of love, of joy, of playfulness, compassion, excitement, enthusiasm, understanding, patience, perseverance, as you align yourself consciously to those things, you'll dynamically incorporate those energies into the physiology, and you'll broadcast them out further too. It's really cool. Yes, I know. I will do that. Question from IM. Will there be a physical separation between high and low vibe people, especially between friends and family? That's already happening. The wheat and the chaff, when you take the wheat sheaves and you drop them in there and you start shaking, the wheat and the chaff naturally separate when there's motion. But vibrationally, we are going to be experiencing a different dynamic in all of our relationships. There are areas that when you get in alignment with who and what you really are as a vibration of light, as an extension of source love, and you become more conscious of that, you're going to begin to see people differently. You're going to begin to respond to people differently. You're going to be able to hear people differently because you'll be hearing with a different ear and you'll be seeing with a different eye. The vibration of love is a different filter than the vibration of fear. As you get more accustomed to seeing and hearing from your highest light, then your highest is what you will give to others, even those that you call low vibe people. You'll have a very different response. Yes. Yes. Cool. Question from Ajana. What is the best direction for change for me now to be more of myself? The first word they gave me is meditation. Meditation, but living. They say you must take your meditation from the chair or the floor into your world. You must take your meditation into the world. The purpose, the purposeful expression you're seeking will come from within you. But many of you have been taught to think that you will find your fulfillment by getting it outside of you first. But we would simply say that no, you as an awareness, when you recognize the value of what you are, you will give meaning to this world. You will have purpose consciously, but you must become aware that you will function from love very differently than you will function from fear. Align yourself as deeply to love as you can, for this will determine what you are being here to do. For love will do very different things than fear ever will, but both will have their effects. Yeah, it's a real big shakeup for people, eh? Wonderful, thank you. Question from Drusilla. Any messages for me? Wow. I get, it's funny you said that, Drusilla. As soon as you said that, I got this sharp pain in my left knee. I'm asking, why is sharp pain in my left knee? Something about there's something you have to pull out from your heart. They're saying there's something you have to pull out from your heart that is in the knee. I don't know if this is a mirroring, but the sensation was in my left knee. But something you have to pull out of your heart that will change that. It's something that's very deep and it's been locked in there for a long time. It's got to be pulled out. Yeah. But pull it out. Yeah. Okay. They're saying pull it out. Pull it out, whatever it is. And I'm assuming from my understanding that they're referring to something emotional that's stored in your system that needs to be liberated from it so that it's not stuck in that part of your body anymore. Yeah. Do it with love, though. Do it with love. I'm going to read this. Yes. Hi, Caitlin. Listen, Caitlin, when you want to ask a question, I'm going to answer this because they want me to answer this question. But anybody who wants to ask a question, please write the word question followed by with the word question, then follow your question after that word. That way, my subconscious brain has been conditioned that when the word question comes up to respond. But occasionally they do this where they draw me to something and say, no, you got to answer this question. So I'm going to read your question. Hello, Michael. Would I be able to get any information as to why I'm feeling nervous, twitching energy, and what I can do to move on from it? It just seems so overwhelming. I don't know where to begin. Caitlin, sit down for a moment, if you're not already, and become aware of that nervous twitching. And one of the things we're going to have you do is something very simple. Become aware of where the twitching is. Become very aware of the nervousness. Become very aware of it. And as you become more aware of it, think this thought to it. Think the following thought into that feeling of nervousness. But think this thought in a tone of voice that sounds like you really mean it, okay? So just sense that nervousness, whatever that emotion is in your body. If anybody else wants to do this, they can. If you got any emotion or anything you want to transform, become aware of the nervousness, the discomfort, the emotion you want to change. And now, Kirsten, just turn your attention to it and think this thought to it in a tone of voice that sounds like you mean it. I'm willing to love you even if I do not understand you. And repeat that thought slowly and meaningfully towards that nervousness. I'm willing to love you even if I don't understand you. And just repeat that. I'm willing to love you even if I do not understand you. And just repeat that a few more times with deeper sincerity and meaning, and watch how the energy responds to you. Because remember, this is the time where we're learning as a species not to just work with mind and matter. We're learning to work with energy, pure energy. Energy organizes matter. Emotion organizes matter. So I'm willing to love you even if I do not understand you. And whatever change you feel when doing that process, Kirsten, please share your results with the rest of the group in the comments section below. Thank you. Really appreciate that. Question. This creative seed that has been recently been planted within me, is it appropriate to pursue? Thank you. Oh, yes. Woo! Yeah, for sure. There's just like this white light just radiating out from around me right now. Yes, absolutely. Open it up. They're saying full open. They're calling it mindful abandonment. Mindful abandonment. And again, I'm interpreting this because it's literally like just open up to it. That's what they're communicating. Open right up to that. It's not just yes. They're saying there's things in your past that have you questioning whether it's going to go somewhere, but open up to it and watch what happens. Question from the Crochet Goddess. Any messages for me, please? Wow. I don't know why, but they're showing me. I don't know why they're showing me older people. Maybe the word crochets triggered that in my physical brain. Is that the case? No. Something about the older and the younger. The older and the younger. To bring them together. The older and the younger. This will give you the joy you are missing. To bring the older to the younger. Right. I get this sensation of like street kids that need something from you, that you have something to give people that are younger people that are not as fortunate as you are. To give them some. Is there something specific? Your heart and your love and your caring. Cool. Well, that's funny. Thank you, Drusilla. Question from Suzanne. Any messages for me, please? I get Archangel Gabriel coming in very strongly, Suzanne. I don't know why he's laying back on grass. He literally shows surrender. Surrender to light are the words that I'm getting from him. Surrender to light. What light? Her light. Surrender to her light. Okay. Surrender. That's cool. I like that. Oh, you're welcome, Possum. Oh, thank you, Ryan. I appreciate that. Baba Jira, question. We failed in wholeness for so many lifetimes. Where do we find the certainty that this life and ever-ending journey is going to be any different? Well, this is a really great question. Let me ask and see what they say here. They're saying you have to release yourself from the anticipation of what is to come and restore yourself to the joy of what is. Restore yourself to the joy of what is, for that will precipitate what is to come. But do not think about the future, but be fully and wholly complete in this moment, in your joy, in your excitement, in your playfulness. Embrace your life fully right now. Do not concern yourself with the future, for it will be taken care of by this token. So it comes back almost full circle to what was being said in the beginning, that we are all creating. We are all creating deliberately. Whether we know it or not, we are all creating. We're all responsible for creating. And are you going to be a conscious creator? Because every thought you think, every feeling you generate, every action you do influences time, space, and matter, and other people and conditions. And we really have to become mindful of that. But we also have to be honest. If there's something you see going on around you that's not right, you shouldn't support it. You shouldn't ignore it. You should speak up, speak your truth. But speak your truth from love, not from aggression, not from any place of darkness, but from light. Speak your truth and stand by it. Wow, great question. Yeah, we are creating it right now. Question from Anka. Hi, Anka. Good to hear from you again. I don't know why they're showing me this picture of water. I don't know why they're showing me a picture of water. Something about coming down. They're saying the light will come down into you. You have called this forth. Allow it to come in. Allow it to come in through the crown. They're saying through the crown of your head. Allow this light to pour in. Who is this? They're smiling. I get Archangel Michael and Master Jesus very strong in this pouring down of light. It's funny, in the process of connecting to multidimensional beings, and everybody can do this. We all have that capability. You learn to feel what they're saying, and then at least I have anyway, I've learned to feel the information I'm getting, and I let my brain interface with the vibrations again, and I get information in the forms of symbols that as over time, it gets easier and easier to translate, because you're building up a new translation. When you're learning to connect to non-physical beings, you literally have to build a different awareness of energy and vibration and then you learn how to interpret it. Much the same way as a little child had to learn to process different things through sight, sound, touch, taste, and smell. Well, when you start to liberate yourself from being just the five sensory being, and you start to realize there's these other senses of clairvoyance, clairaudience, clairsentience, claircognizance, clairgustions, many other senses that are non-physical, and you start to develop those through Intuition is another term for it, right? Claircognizance, intuition. But learning to, as Jesus says, see without eyes, hear without ears. And as you start to develop these non-physical faculties, and you start to download the information from those faculties, you start to be able to communicate energy from a different plane of consciousness from these other divine beings, your angels, your guardian angels. It's a process. Everybody can do this. It just has to be taught. You have to just learn how to open those senses up. A question from Loving Life. Any messages from my higher self? Thank you. She's really playful, eh? She's presenting herself as a female to me. And the funny thing that's coming up is Spa Day. Your higher self is presenting itself as feminine right now, and saying Spa Day. And I don't know what that means for you, if that means going to a physical spa, but that's very loud and clear. Spa Day. It's like a punctuation mark at the end of that, Spa Day. So if you give it a chance, let us know how that goes. This can be a lot of fun. Spa Day, I love it. Question from Jana. How do I recognize the choice made from love versus the choice made out of fear? Well, just look around. You will see the effects. But the thing is, you want to become aware of what your dominant emotional attachment is in the moment. Are you connecting deliberately to love, or are you connecting deliberately to fear? It has to be done consciously. We've been living unconsciously as a species for thousands of years. And we're at this point now where we're becoming very conscious. So conscious, in fact, you've got all the world's knowledge in your smart device, right? You have the whole world's knowledge. That's how much more conscious and aware we become as a species. So the key is, are you consciously functioning in thought and action from love? Or are you consciously functioning in action from fear? And it has to become a conscious choice. You'll know, because you'll see the results. If you got things around you that are bothering you, it's because you're making choices from a place of fear. That's the simplest way to tell. If the conditions in your physical world are not exciting or pleasing to you, it's because you're generating your experience from a position of fear or suffering. And you want to begin generating them from a place of love and joy and possibilities and excitement. Like, a lot of people have been really upset and frustrated by this whole COVID escapade, but you can get really excited about it. Look at how much more time you get to meditate, how much more time you get to be inside yourself, to examine your mind, to renew your mind, right? This is big time here, where we can renew not only our individual mind, but we can renew our bodies. We can renew our relationship to life, to animals, to birds. Be ye made whole, therefore, by the renewing of your mind, I think is the statement that you often hear. And we do. We have to literally, your mind will not make itself up. Your mind will not make itself up. You have to correct it. You have to correct what's in there. Wonderful. Question from Lysandra. Any messages for me? I had a dream of 11:33 and 28:06. That's funny. I had the 11:33 last night. No, they're just saying stay on track. Stay on track. The only words are given. Stay on track. I don't know if that's in relationship to, but that's the information they're communicating to me. Yes. Devas. Yeah. Also, yes, Lysandra, there are nature devas that are wanting to work with you. Nature devas that want to work with you, particularly with like plants, like fruit trees, things like that. There's nature devas want to work with you. I don't know why they're saying fruit trees, but the nature devas want to work with you in these plants. Oh, you're welcome, Suzanne. I'm going to take one more question. Let's see here. Wow, great questions. Great turnout today, guys. Yes. Yes. Just scrolling down here. Question from IM. Would love to support my friend Steph with a message about her cat who passed today. Any message? Oh my gosh. Just that the cat is still running around her feet. It loves rubbing itself against her. Also that it made space for something new. It was time to give her space for something new. And this is a beautiful thing. There is no such thing as death. There is a transmutation of matter from one state to another. This is a transmutation of matter from one state to another. Your awareness, which you can't, I mean, the only way you know that I'm aware is because I can tell the hands to move, but I'm telling the hands to move, right? They're being told to do that. Just as I can be aware of the thoughts in my mind, but I'm not the thoughts in my mind. I'm aware of the thoughts in my mind. And philosophers have been trying to sort this out for decades and centuries. The reality is you are not that body you're in. It's an instrument you use. Your thoughts are an instrument. Your mind is an instrument that you use. It's not who you are. Don't become localized to the body. So when the body ceases to function, it just means the matter has changed. But your cat, tell your friend her cat has left to make room for something new in her life. And she should be really excited. The cat will still be around her. He's still going to be around her. Tell her he made room for something else in her life. It's really important that she become aware of that. She isn't lost. There's a new space in her life for something new. And she gets to decide what that is. She gets to decide what she wants to allow into her lives, as we all get to do, right? That's a great question. A wonderful place. I love cats too. We had cats for 18 years, 2 of them, and they've made their transition. Wow. Yes. Anyway, guys, I want to thank all of you for showing up today, and I want to remind you that I'll be back on Wednesday with Shortcuts for Your Soul. We'll do the second segment, and as you know, we do Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Shortcuts for Your Soul, and on Saturday we do Supernatural Saturday, where we do a guided meditation to help integrate the energies, the information that they've given us over these 3 days of the week. If you want to support my channel, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, remember to click the notification bell when you subscribe, this little bell, and click all notifications so you'll know when I come live, so you don't have to be wondering or missing out. You'll get a chance to know when I'm live immediately. If you want to support the channel in other ways, you can become a member of my Patreon page, patreon.com/William Michael Forbes. Also on my main page, on my banner on my page, you'll see the link to my Patreon channel. You can also offer donations through my PayPal account, which again is on the banner of my YouTube channel. If you want to know more about how to channel and how to connect to guides, your angels, we offer mediumship courses that will be starting February the 13th of 2021. You can go to my website, williammichaelforbes.com, and check out our courses and classes there. You can register for the winter season in February now if you like. And it's an amazing course. It's completely transformative. And I'll look forward to seeing some of you there. We've already had people registering up, so that's nice. And again, thank you for your time, your energy, your patience, your questions, your focus, most importantly. I really, really appreciate it. I want you all to have a wonderful, joyful day. And remember, much love. It's what you are. Love is what you are. It's not something you have to get. It's what you are. It's who you really are. You're not your thoughts. You're not your body. You are a vibration of source love extended into time space. Remember that. Feel it. Become it. Shape your thoughts to be love. Shape your actions to be love. And I will see you guys on Wednesday. Much love, everybody. Bye for now.